I am currently stuck on the Donner Pass. It's good times out here. It's only been a couple of days since my last update. Might as well fill you in. Stayed at that Flying J, the Pilot Flying J that I was at, and all was well. And basically, it was uneventful. Monday morning, I got up about 3:30 a.m. and hit the road to head out by about 4 a.m. I did a pre-trip, about 3:30 a.m. or something like that. And then I hit the road and I made it to my location where I was doing the first drop. Oh, where was that? It was in Oakland. Yes, Oakland. I had to think about it for a second because I've got another assignment and I'm all over the place. So anyway, Oakland is where I was. Sorry, this is not good. What the situation is that I'm in. It is very much not good. All right, enough talk. These four-wheelers are so stupid. They were, I'll get to it in a minute. You just got to laugh. You just got to laugh. Yes, you stupid idiot driving the wrong way on the interstate. Okay. All right, enough blabbing. Here's what's going on. And now you're going to turn around too. Aren't you genius? Man, people are so stupid. You're going to drive backwards down the interstate the wrong way. You're just going to bottleneck up. I hope a police officer is down there pulling every one of you idiots over. Anyway. All right, so here's the lowdown. Here's what's going on. Got up 3:30 a.m. ish. Well, that's, I did my pre-trip shortly thereafter. Left just after 4. Hit the road and made it to Oakland by about 5:45. Had an ETA set at 6 a.m. And there's two entrances. I went to the one that made sense to be one, and it ended up being right. It was the right entrance to go to. An employee showed up just after 6 and he let me in the gate. I pulled up, broke the straps, went in there, gave him the paperwork first. He came by and, got the pod. I got on the road by about 6:20. No, it was after that. Actually, because he had to do pre-trip and stuff on the, inspect the forklift. It was probably closer to 6:45. And, so I hit the road, drove through San Jose, and made it to Milpitas, as I've been calling it until I noticed that there was no I after MIL. Milpitas. But it's Milpitas, I guess. Milpitas. I did my drop there, but they had no power. And he said that there's a lot of areas over there that are out of power. And he says, are you going to be picking up something today? I said, no, I'm not picking up. I'm just dropping off. He said, good, because I have no paperwork. So if you were here to pick up something, I couldn't give it to you because we have no power. I couldn't give you your printout. And I'm like, okay. Well, I said, well, but that brings up an interesting question here. How many outgoing loads do you have today? He said, 1. I said, is it Schneider? He said, nope. And so I knew at that point that I had zero chance of getting a load out of Milpitas that day, yesterday. So I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and drive to a truck stop. The nearest truck stop that actually has parking spaces only has a few. The nearest one that has a decent amount was 63 miles away, 62 miles away. It was Joe's Truck Stop. But you have to go around this whole big forest, this national forest or whatever. And there's no roads going through there. Well, there's one road. And then the other one was the Pilot Flying J that I stayed at. and I got lucky enough to stay at for 2 days. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to go back there because it's only 2 or 3 extra miles, and I know there's drop lots right above it. So I tried to go by that Pilot Flying J. There was no parking spaces. There was a whole bunch of trucks waiting and driving around in loops and stuff. I said, nope, I have zero chance. There's 3 drop lots for Schneider nearby, though. So I went to the one directly behind the Flying J, and I pull in, and the little security shack was over to the right, but it didn't look like anyone was in it because there was no lights on, and there was nobody there. So I went ahead and pulled on in. And as I pull in, there's another driver coming back the other way, and he's like waving at me and pointing back. And I look in my rearview mirror, and there's a guy back there doing this number. Security guy apparently came out, and it wasn't labeled. I looked, and it was not labeled at all. So I backed up, and he says, "You're gonna have to go down and U-turn and go back out." Well, it's a drop lot for multiple different trucking companies, so I actually circled the lot and was going to just go out and then turn back out. But the guy jumps in front of me, my way, and he says, no, you have to U-turn. Great. So anyway, I go ahead and pull back the way I just came because I circled all the way around. He just went do. And then he wouldn't let me out. So I had to go this way. And then I had to make a U-turn in probably about 70 feet. It was pretty tight. And I start to exit. I U-turn out there. Well, I do a 2-point turn and then pull back in and stop. And the guy says, okay, you're going to have to drop your trailer in there and then find a place to park. And I shook my head. I'm not dropping my trailer. He says, you have to. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'll just leave. And he says, okay. I mean, because I'm not about to drop this trailer. The last thing in the world I need is someone picking this trailer up with, when it was empty and go off and do something with it. It's not going to happen. And my Kingpin lock, I have the key for it over here. No, that's not it. Where is it? It's in my spare set that I always keep my spare set next to my wallet. So there's the Kingpin lock key. So I always keep the spare pair of keys in my pocket. As soon as I put on my pants, I put my wallet and my key, my backup key in there. And I have the other key in the truck almost all the time, except when I get out to, open something. Anyway, so I pulled out of there, made another very tight U-turn, pulled out of there and went half a mile up the road to the other the other drop lots. And there's 2 of them. They're side by side. You can either go left to intermodal, and it also has van truckload, or to the right for additional van truckload. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take the one on the left because as soon as you get in there, they look like there was more spaces. And it ends up being that I U-turned around and backed in the spot that was directly across from the entrance. So that way, as soon as I cleared up, I was ready to go. As soon as I got a job. And I sat there and waited. And I got a note come through the tablet probably just after lunchtime. And it said, we're not going to have a load for you today. Great. So they said, just find a safe and legal place to park for the night, and we'll see what pods can send you tomorrow. Fast forward to today, this morning. I was tired. I had a headache. I went to bed early. I was so bored, and just after sitting there for 2 days, all I did was like 4 hours of driving, 5 hours, and then parked it. So I was bored, sat there and didn't do anything. And I watched a couple movies and that kind of thing, but still not exactly entertaining. So what did I do? I went to bed early. And I got up about 8.5 to 9 hours after I went to bed. And and that was actually, it was about 8 hours before I went to bed because my alarm was supposed to go off in the 9-hour mark, which would have been 5 a.m. in case they happened to send me a pre-assignment early. But I ended up getting up just before the alarm. And so I got up and got ready and just sat there waiting for a job. I was hoping and praying for a job. I called home, talked to the fam a little bit, and I was about to do a pre-trip. That way I'm ready to rock, ready to go. As soon as I get a pre-assignment. When all of a sudden, new pre-assignment received, starting in Milpitas, and ending in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The chain law has been in effect over in the Donner Pass for the past few days. And I knew that because of bad weather, if they released it, because I've been looking and studying the weather, and if it looked like the weather was going to clear up enough, which it looked like it was going to, they would probably release chain controls on the Donner Pass. And I checked my phone when I woke up that morning, yesterday morning, or this morning, and chain law was gone. So I was like, awesome. So when that came through and said new pre-assignment, I said, okay, Allentown, Pennsylvania, crap, that's going to take me through the Donner Pass. And so I quickly brought it up. And it wasn't on my phone just yet, so I brought it up on the tablet. And it said, pick up in Sacramento, which was about 75 miles north of me. And then going to, what was this place called? Castroville, which is 180 miles southwest, the wrong way. Then the next pickup is in Reno, Nevada, just on the other side of the Donner Pass. If I was picking up the two places like Castroville, it would have been so awesome if I could have just continued down south, gone to 40, and then continued on. But no. Pod sent me Reno, Nevada. So I was Russian. Not like Russian, the country, but or the people from the country. But I was like wasting no time. I instantly go on duty and start my pre-trip and start, checking the truck out. And as soon as I can hit the road, I am going, wasting no time, getting up to Sacramento, wasting no time. And Sacramento, I tell you, that location in Sacramento was on the ball. I was in and out of there in about 8 minutes, because when I pulled up there, I'm seeing, because I put in the ETA as part of the pre-trip, when you do your pump down test and you're building back up air pressure, I did my pre-trip and set my 2 ETAs for Castroville and for Sacramento. And I was like, okay, so that way, hopefully they'll be ready for me when I get there. And so as soon as I did my pre-trip, I hit the road. And my pre-trip time, my estimated time of arrival for Sacramento was spot on. I got there about 3 minutes before my ETA. And so I was really pleased about that. And as I pull up, there's a guy that is, he's up there, and he looks at me and says, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, here it comes. Because they were expecting me. And so he starts backing up, cause he already had it loaded. And so he starts backing up. I go and grab my 3 straps and run around. And by the time I get on that side, he has the, and throw the straps down, on the flatbed. He, has me loaded up. I get the paperwork from him. I throw it in the back of the truck. I throw my straps, and I'm out of there in less than 10 minutes. It was 8 minutes. And I hit the road, and I am going towards Castroville. And then all of a sudden, it gives me a fuel assignment. Oh, joy. This fuel assignment is in Patterson, California. Takes me down this way, and then it turn left and go down a mile and change to get down to Patterson, and then fuel up and then leave and go on. The fuel up didn't take very long. Then I get back, and I'm going down back roads. And finally I get to where I'm going. I'm going to turn this on. I get to where I'm going, and they are waiting for me too. if I didn't have to do something else for 30 minutes, I would have been out of there in less than 10 minutes too, because the guy, as I jump out of the truck with my paperwork, I'm walking towards the front, and there's a forklift, and I check the number because I memorized it off of my trip sheet, and I look, and the pod he has loaded up is mine. And I said, "Hey, are you waiting for me?" He says, "You put in an accurate ETA." So of course, I'm like, awesome. So he goes and loads that thing up. I run to the restroom. By the time I run back out there, he is just pulling out with the pod, with the forklift. He gives me the paperwork, and I said, "You need anything?" He says, "Signature or something?" Nope. So I have to sit there and wait out 30 more minutes before I can hit the road. I hate that. I am too energetic for this crap. So anyway, I hit the road and head, up the 101. I take it to 680, and then I take that to 80. By now, it's starting there's some traffic jams going on. And now I made it into to the Donner Pass, and about an hour before I got to this area and stopped, it started to get a little misty. It started to get a little rainy and foggy, and the visibility went down. A Mazda up ahead of us, a Mazda hit a semi and stopped all traffic. And then according to the...
Your device has no GPS signal. This might affect navigation's functionality.
Oh, you think? So according to the CB radio, which I was sitting there on, listening, they said that there was a semi that jackknifed while he was trying to pull off to avoid the accident. And then another semi after him pulled off, and he jackknifed. Neither one of those should really affect us, but there's 3 accidents up there, supposedly. I checked the CHP Truckee Facebook group, and sure as the world, it says there was that they have closed off part of the road up there, so that way they can de-ice it and stuff like that, because of multiple semi collisions or traffic accidents. What was the wording they used? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. But here I am with a 14-hour clock that's now expiring. When I got to this spot, I had 1 hour and 43 minutes left on my 11-hour clock. And I had 40 some odd miles to go. No. Yes. Because I was going to stop just before Reno. I wanted to get through the Donner Pass and then shut down. And by the time I get over there, the truck stop's going to be full. So I'm going to go to I've already found a drop lot that's in Reno. So I will be going. No, that's 40. That's the 47 miles to there. So it's 47 miles to my drop lot in Reno. I was doing fine. I didn't have to rush. I was going to take it nice and slow. And since it wasn't snowing on us, it was just a little bit of a light mist. Now it's not even it's not raining or snowing on us at all. They're up there trying to de-ice the roads. Hopefully we'll avoid having to chain up. If I see trucks starting to jump out and chain up out here, I'm going to have to chain up on the side of the damn interstate. Or right here, rather, not on the side of it. But when I stopped here, I had 2 hours and 43 minutes. No, 2 hours and 38 minutes, because it was an hour. It was 5 minutes short of 1 hour on my 14-hour clock. That's what it was. So it's 55 minutes. And I had 1 hour and 43 minutes on my 11-hour clock, my drive clock. So I am stuck here now watching my 14-hour clock expire. It is at 1 hour and 24 minutes and 21 seconds. And they said on the CB radio that it'd probably be 2 to 3 hours. I don't know where they got that information from, because on the CHP Truckee Facebook group, it says there is no ETA for opening up again. So it looks like I am going to expire on my time. Now, I know that you could extend your drive clock and your 14-hour clock to 16-hour clock. So you can extend it from 11 hours to 13 and your clock from 14 to 16 hours in cases of bad weather and stuff, which is exactly what this is a traffic accident due to bad weather. So, and I'm not going to be able to find a parking space at the truck stops down there because as soon as I get over there, all of these trucks, miles and miles in front of me now, there's about 2 miles of traffic in front of me. We're going to creep through here. We're going to clear and we're going to get out of the Donner Pass and I'll get to Reno. Now, the suckiest thing about all of this is that tomorrow is Wednesday, the day that Pods is closed. So if you put in an ETA, they'll go out there and meet you. But me, I'm going to run out of my clock. I'll have a little bit of extra time here, and if I go past it, then you know what? I was sitting in traffic due to bad weather while they were clearing off the road. I don't think there's a police officer around that would give me a citation when I could basically show them my road cam because I record my drives every day on a time lapse. And I could say, I was stuck in the Donner Pass due to bad traffic. If I get cited, I will fight it because it would be completely out of my control. I can't pull over because I've been listening to CB radio. The rest areas are completely full up ahead. There's one rest area that's up there. It's full, according to the CB radio. And getting past that, I'm sure that by the time I clear out of there, these truckers are going to be occupying those last 2 rest areas, or the last, any rest area that there is up there, it's going to be occupied. So that's going to be fun. The only thing I have going for me right now is that there's no chain law in effect right now. Snow is not going to start up again until sometime around midnight. The temperature is dropping, which means the road is it's shiny. It's going to start freezing. I have my power divider engaged, so as soon as I start moving again, I will creep along. And then according to the California Caltrans map, it looks like there's 3 snow plows up there. So hopefully they are plowing out the road where it's been closed. There goes a Caltrans truck now. And here goes another one. I should almost turn on the CB radio and see what's going on. There's a regular truck following them. So anyway, I'm going to get through here. I'm going to shut down. I will be out of my hours by then, and I'll have to put in a new ETA for tomorrow in Reno. And hope and pray that they actually grace me with their presence and give me the pod that I need. So that way I can hit the road and head out towards where? No, fuel assignment, fuel assignment, fuel assignment, fuel assignment, fuel assignment. 4, how many fuel assignments is there? Pilot Fernley, Nevada. Rawlins, Wyoming. East St. Louis, Illinois. I hate that one. Nitro, West Virginia. And then Pods, Hollins, Virginia. And then Pods, Wyatteville, Maryland. And Allentown, Pennsylvania pods. And once I pick up that pod tomorrow in Reno, all of the traffic, all the bad weather that we've been having in California and been raining on me the past few days, it's slowly making it. It's basically, sitting around, spiraling around just south of the Donner Pass. It's slowly making its way up here. But it's also coming in from the north. And once it comes in tomorrow afternoon, Nevada and Utah is going to turn bad. it's going to get very bad. Snow, it's going to be a few inches of snow. It's going to be slow on the interstates until I probably get to the other side of Wyoming. So I got 3 states. I got Nevada, I got Utah, and then Wyoming. And then as of now, Nebraska is clear. And the storm isn't supposed to get that far. Now, if you like to use free apps and you don't use Trucker Path, the paid version, you don't use the weather.com or AccuWeather, or any of those, I will tell you this. Windy, W-I-N-D-Y, has multiple different filters you can use to look at. You can scroll across the time on the bottom and see all the different, you can see the wind conditions or the temperature, or you can see the rain and thunderstorms or snowfall it predicted in the next 24 hours or the previous 24 hours. And you can see all this stuff. It is a very powerful app. And it's very small too. It only is like 66 and change megs in size. So it's about a third the size of my bank app, which is all text and a few pictures. But if you don't have Windy, I strongly recommend it because it is a very powerful app. And it is very good. And it is spot on accurate that I've seen so far. Even the free version. So I can expect a lot of badness going through Nevada and Utah. And then probably some in Wyoming, because Wyoming gets whatever wind and bad weather and stuff comes north out of Colorado, which isn't supposed to be able to hitting Wyoming, but the wind, I'm sure, will be fun. So anyway, that's the latest. I'm sitting here on the Donner Pass, waiting to see how long it's going to be, watching my 14-hour clock slowly go down. 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 45 seconds, 42 seconds. At least my heater is working. And I think it's entirely appropriate, since I am stuck on the Donner Pass, I'm going to eat some meat snacks. That said, thanks for watching.